Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top 20 poorest countries in Europe. Europe is known for its immense affluence, yet the continent is not immune to poverty. In an analysis of data from the International Monetary Fund, it is clear that many Eastern European countries face pervasive economic distress. To identify the poorest countries in Europe, we examined data from Credit Suisse's Global Wealth Databook, specifically focusing on the GDP per adult. GDP per adult helps identify countries with lower average income levels, indicating that individuals in those countries may have limited financial resources. We selected the 20 poorest countries in Europe based on this metric, ranking the list in descending order of GDP per adult. It is important to acknowledge that some of these countries may appear relatively prosperous because Europe is generally a wealthy continent. Nevertheless, poverty encompasses a wide range of factors, including the availability of essential needs such as food, clean water, healthcare, education, housing, and social services. To obtain a more comprehensive understanding of poverty in a country, it is vital to consider multiple indicators and measures. These aspects cannot be fully captured by GDP per capita alone. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the 20 poorest countries in Europe. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top 20 poorest countries in Europe. Number 20. Lithuania. GDP per adult, $29,276. Lithuania, recognized as the Republic of Lithuania, is a nation located in the Baltic region of Europe. The capital and largest city of Lithuania is Vilnius. The country holds membership in various international organizations, including the European Union, the Council of Europe, the Eurozone, the Nordic Investment Bank, the Schengen Agreement, NATO, and the OECD. Additionally, Lithuania actively participates in the regional cooperation format known as the Nordic-Baltic 8, NB8. With GDP per adult of $29,276, Lithuania is categorized as one of the poorest countries in Europe as per Credit Suisse. Number 19. Portugal. GDP per adult, $28,700. Portugal, officially the Portuguese Republic, is situated in southwestern Europe on the Iberian Peninsula. Lisbon is the capital city and holds the highest population in Portugal. The country is one of the oldest nations in Europe, and its land has been a witness to continuous settlements, invasions, and conflicts dating back to ancient times. Portugal is an active member of many international organizations, including the United Nations, the European Union, and the Council of Europe. Additionally, Portugal played a foundational role in establishing NATO, the OECD, the Eurozone, and the Community of Portuguese language countries. Portugal also hosts a number of widely recognized multinational corporations, including McDonald's Corporation, Shell plc, and PepsiCo Incorporated. However, it falls under the category of the poorest countries in Europe, with GDP per adult of $28,700. Number 18. Latvia. GDP per adult, $25,657. Latvia, officially referred to as the Republic of Latvia, is a northern European country situated in the Baltic region. Its largest city and capital is Riga. Latvia holds membership in several prominent international organizations, including the European Union, NATO, Eurozone, the Council of Europe, the United Nations, the Council of the Baltic Sea States, the Nordic-Baltic 8, the International Monetary Fund, the Nordic Investment Bank, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, and the World Trade Organization. In terms of economic status, Latvia is classified as one of the poorest countries in Europe, with GDP per adult of $25,657. Number 17. Slovakia. GDP per adult, $25,325. Slovakia, known officially as the Slovak Republic, is a landlocked nation situated in Central Europe. The capital and largest city of Slovakia is Bratislava, with Košice being the second largest city. The country holds membership in several prestigious international organizations, including the European Union, the Eurozone, the Schengen Area, the United Nations, NATO, CERN, the OECD, the WTO, the Council of Europe, the Visegrad Group, and the OSCE. Slovakia takes pride in being home to quite a few of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. However, the country faces challenges in addressing regional disparities in wealth and employment. With GDP per adult of $25,325, Slovakia was classified as one of the poorest countries in Europe. Number 16. Greece. GDP per adult, $24,534. Greece, officially referred to as the Hellenic Republic, is located in southeastern Europe, with Athens serving as both its capital and largest city. The country is a member of a number of international organizations, including the UN, the OECD, and the Council of Europe. The GDP per adult of Greece stood at $24,534, categorizing it as one of the poorest countries in Europe. Number 15. Hungary. GDP per adult, $23,831. Hungary is a landlocked nation situated in Central Europe. The country's capital and largest city is Budapest. Hungary is an active member of various international organizations, including the Council of Europe, NATO, United Nations, World Health Organization, and World Trade Organization. Following the collapse of Austria-Hungary after World War I, Hungary experienced a turbulent interwar period and subsequently aligned with the Axis powers during World War II, resulting in significant damage and casualties. Hungary's GDP per adult stood at $23,831, placing it among the poorest countries in Europe. Number 14. Poland. GDP per adult, $21,200. Poland, officially referred to as the Republic of Poland, is located in Central Europe. It is geographically divided into 16 administrative provinces known as voivodeships. Poland's capital and largest city is Warsaw. The country's takeover by Germany and the Soviet Union in 1939 signaled the beginning of World War II, which led to the Holocaust and caused the loss of millions of Polish lives. With GDP per adult of $21,200, Poland classifies as one of the poorest countries in Europe. Number 13. Croatia. GDP per adult, $20,637. Croatia, known officially as the Republic of Croatia, is situated in a strategic location between Central and Southeast Europe. Its largest city, Zagreb, serves as a significant administrative division alongside 20 counties. Croatia is actively involved in numerous organizations such as the European Union, the Eurozone, and the United Nations. The war for independence in 1991 caused extensive harm to the country's economic infrastructure, notably impacting the tourism sector. Croatia is classified as one of the poorest nations in Europe, with GDP per adult of $20,637. Number 12. Romania. GDP per adult, $18,685. Romania is a nation located along the intersection of Central, Eastern, and Southeastern Europe. Bucharest is the capital of Romania, and serves as its largest city as well. The country holds membership in a number of organizations, including the UN, the EU, and NATO. Romania experienced a decline in its economy after 1989, and the economy remained unstable for years after that. It is one of the poorest countries in Europe, with GDP per adult coming in at $18,685. Number 11. Russia. GDP per adult, $15,750. The Russian Federation extends across both Eastern Europe and Northern Asia. Moscow is both its capital and largest city. Russia is a member of various organizations. It holds permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council. Globally, Russia has one of the lowest rates of human rights, freedom of speech, and democracy. It is also faced with high levels of corruption. Russia's GDP per adult was $15,750, classifying it as one of the poorest countries in Europe. Following the Russia-Ukraine conflict, renowned multinational corporations such as McDonald's Corporation, Shell plc, and PepsiCo Incorporated withdrew or suspended their operations in Russia, further straining the Russian economy. Number 10. Bulgaria. GDP per adult, $14,491. The Republic of Bulgaria is positioned in Southeast Europe. The nation's capital and largest city is Sofia. Bulgaria is a member of organizations such as the European Union, NATO, and the Council of Europe. It is a developing country. Bulgaria faces significant socio-economic challenges due to prevalent corruption, and the population of the country is gradually decreasing, indicating a demographic crisis. With GDP per adult of $14,491, Bulgaria is one of the poorest countries in Europe. Number 9. Montenegro. GDP per adult, $12,231. Montenegro is located in southeastern Europe. It is a member of several organizations including the UN, NATO, and the WTO. In 2008, Montenegro experienced an economic decline as a consequence of the global recession. The Montenegrin economy relies heavily on foreign direct investment, FDI, making it vulnerable to outside influence and excessive trade deficit. Montenegro is one of the poorest countries in Europe, with GDP per adult coming in at $12,231. Number 8. Serbia. GDP per adult, $11,538. Serbia, known officially as the Republic of Serbia, is a landlocked country located in southeastern and central Europe. Belgrade is the capital and the largest city of Serbia. Serbia is a member of various organizations such as the WTO, the UN, and the OSCE. It is one of the poorest countries in Europe, with GDP per adult of $11,538. Number 7. Belarus. GDP per adult, $9,129. The Republic of Belarus is a landlocked country located in Eastern Europe. Minsk serves as both its capital and largest city. The destruction caused by military operations during World War II adversely affected Belarus, resulting in significant losses both in terms of population and economic resources. Belarus is a developing nation. Since its inception, the country has been a member of the United Nations and has also become part of various other organizations, such as the CIS and the CSTO. Despite its human development ranking being relatively high, Belarus continues to face economic challenges, resulting in it being one of the poorest countries in Europe, with GDP per adult of $9,129. Number 6. Macedonia. GDP per adult, $8,624. Macedonia, commonly known as North Macedonia, is a landlocked country positioned in southeastern Europe. Its capital and largest city is Skopje. Macedonia is a member of multiple organizations, including the UN, NATO, and the World Bank. The rate of people facing financial difficulties is considerably high in North Macedonia. Economic development has been hindered by other factors as well, such as corruption and an inefficient legal structure. Macedonia, with GDP per adult of $8,624, is one of the poorest countries in Europe. Number 5. Bosnia and Herzegovina. GDP per adult, $8,453. Bosnia and Herzegovina, commonly known as Bosnia, is a nation located in southeastern Europe within the Balkans region. The capital and largest city of the country is Sarajevo. It is classified as a developing country, with its economy predominantly influenced by the industrial and agriculture sectors. Bosnia holds memberships in various international organizations, including the United Nations, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, and the Council of Europe. The Bosnian War inflicted substantial material damages on the country's economy, amounting to billions of dollars. As a result, Bosnia faces the dual challenge of rebuilding a war-torn nation and implementing transitional liberal market reforms to transform its priorly mixed economy. The GDP per adult in Bosnia and Herzegovina amounted to $8,453, positioning it as one of the poorest countries in Europe. Number 4. Albania. GDP per adult, $8,203. Albania, known officially as the Republic of Albania, is a nation located in southeastern Europe, within the Balkans region. Its capital and largest city is Tirana. Albania is classified as a developing country, with an upper-middle-income economy that is primarily driven by the service sector. The country is actively involved in various international organizations, including the United Nations, World Bank, UNESCO, NATO, and OIC. However, Albania remains one of the poorest countries in Europe, with GDP per adult coming in at $8,203. Number 3. Kosovo. GDP per adult, $6,512. Kosovo, officially referred to as the Republic of Kosovo, is a nation in Southeast Europe that has achieved partial diplomatic recognition. It is a landlocked country situated in the heart of the Balkans, with Pristina serving as its capital and largest city. Kosovo is categorized as a developing country, with an upper-middle-income economy. It holds membership in international organizations such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. The economy of Kosovo has faced challenges due to political upheaval, the dismissal of Kosovo employees by Serbia, and the repercussions of the Yugoslav wars. Kosovo has GDP per adult of $6,512. Number 2. Ukraine. GDP per adult, $5,779. Ukraine is an Eastern European country with its capital and largest city being Kiev. The country operates as a unitary state with a semi-presidential system. It holds the distinction of being a founding member of the United Nations and maintains membership in organizations such as the Council of Europe, the World Trade Organization, and the OSCE. Despite its potential and resources, Ukraine continues to face significant economic challenges and remains one of the poorest countries in Europe, with GDP per adult of $5,779. Corruption is a prevalent issue that hinders the country's progress and development. Furthermore, the ongoing Ukraine-Russia war is inflicting additional damage to the Ukrainian economy, thus worsening the existing challenges. Number 1. Moldova. GDP per adult, $4,440. Moldova, officially known as the Republic of Moldova, is a landlocked nation situated in Eastern Europe. The capital and largest city of Moldova is Chisinau. The country holds membership in various international organizations, including the United Nations, the Council of Europe, the World Trade Organization, and the Association Trio. From 1992 to 2001, Moldova experienced a severe economic crisis, resulting in a majority of the population falling below the poverty line. Although Moldova witnessed substantial growth in the early 2000s, it remains one of the poorest countries in Europe. Moldova's GDP per adult stood at $4,440, with the service sector playing a dominant role in the country's economy. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your favorite places among the top 20 poorest countries in Europe in the comments below. I'd love to read them and I'm sure others would too.